Bapak Ibu sekalian yang hadir di tempat ini, silakan duduk. Kita akan segera mulai di sesi terakhir ya untuk hari ini. Kita akan membahas tentang pengelolaan sampah organik yang akan dibawakan oleh founder dari Siva Industries dan perwakilan dari Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Selamat sore, apa kabar? Baik ya, sehat-sehat semua hari ini. Tetap antusias di penghujung hari Kamis 11 Juni 2026 di event Invirotech kita. Yang tentu dari pagi Bapak Ibu, rekan-rekan semua sudah hadir. Dan kalau masih bisa bertahan sampai sore ini saya acungkan jempol ya. Saya acungkan jempol karena berarti Bapak Ibu dan rekan-rekan semua adalah orang-orang yang antusias untuk sama-sama belajar, sama-sama memahami dan sama-sama terlibat ya. Bukan hanya berwacana tapi mengambil tindakan nyata terhadap permasalahan sampah khususnya sampah organik. Perkenalkan saya Cogito Ergo Sumadirasan atau biasa disebut atau dipanggil Cogi. Saya dari Siva Industries. Hari ini akan memoderatori seminar atau talk show yang akan menghadirkan dua narasumber. Yang pertama saya akan mengundang founder dari Siva Industries. Saya undang ke depan Bapak Tobias Wilson. Silakan Bapak maju ke depan. Berikan tepuk tangan Bapak Ibu Saudara sekalian. Dan yang kedua tentunya sangat berterima kasih, bersyukur kita juga kehadiran perwakilan dari Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup sebagai Direktur Pengurangan Sampah dan Pengembangan Ekonomi Sirkular, yaitu Bapak Agus Rusli. Kepada Bapak Agus silakan maju ke depan Pak. Berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah Bapak Ibu sekalian. Ya, tentunya Bapak Ibu kita datang di tempat ini sama-sama punya kepedulian ya terhadap permasalahan sampah, khususnya sampah organik. Kita tahu bahwa tempat pembuangan akhir atau TPA sudah over capacity. Di Bantar Gebang sudah terjadi berbagai macam hal, berbagai macam bencana dan juga bukan hanya di Bantar Gebang. Di TPA lain juga mengalami hal yang sama. Dan lebih dari 70% sampah yang ada di TPA adalah sampah organik. Nah tentunya kita harus mencari solusi nyata untuk bisa mengurangi sampah yang ada di TPA dan khususnya tidak lagi membuang sampah organik di TPA. Oleh karena itu, Siva Industries hadir sebagai sebuah social enterprise yang fokusnya untuk merekayasa akhir dari sampah organik. Tadinya sampah organik selalu dibawa ke tempat pembuangan akhir atau TPA, tapi dengan apa yang dilakukan oleh Siva Industries diharapkan setiap penghasil sampah organik bisa mengolah sampah organiknya secara cerdas, secara lebih pintar, lebih canggih. Saya tidak perlu berlama-lama lagi, saya akan mengundang Bapak Tobias Wilson sebagai founder Siva Industries untuk menyampaikan presentasinya. Kepada Tobias, yours now.
Terima kasih Bapak. Selamat sore. Mohon maaf bahasa saya sedikit. Saya belajar pelan-pelan, but I speak bahasa Inggris. Bisa. I'm going to start with something that we all know, okay? And that is the amount of waste that we are producing that is growing, okay? Every day, Sampah Organik goes on a truck, and if we pulled Indonesia's waste and put it on trucks, and we stacked those trucks end to end from Jakarta, they would reach past Bandung. And then besok, sama. That waste is growing at 4.9% compound annual growth rate. It's not slowing down. And in fact, organic waste is kind of a good thing. It means that we're eating real food from the planet, from Mother Nature, from Ibu Bumi. And the more recycled materials, the more natural materials that we use to replace plastic or aluminium, etc., the more organic sampah we will produce naturally, and that's okay. What is not okay is open dumping, okay? The buang or centralized landfilling. So I'd like to spend the next half an hour with you, and I know it's hard because I'm coming to your country and speaking my language, and I'm sorry for that. I really am truly sorry. But try and stay with me. But I would like to start with a video, if that's okay. I should voice this over for you, maybe. Small technical issues. Maybe I can talk to how I got here. I was in Singapore for 17 years, 17 tahun di Singapore. And I was working in corporate, and I was in advertising. So content and marketing and all of that. I'm probably largely to blame for the campaigns that I did, selling sneakers and tissues and plastic products. When I came to Indonesia with my family, sudah lama kira-kira 3 tahun, I started volunteering. I started volunteering with Sungai Watch and on beach cleanups and trying to help with the sampah because I saw it as something that Indonesia needed help with. And I didn't mind getting my hands dirty and getting involved, you know, working together, right, for a better Indonesia. What I quickly understood was the majority of our waste is sampah organic. Across Indonesia, 64% di organic. 17 tahun kira-kira plastic. But our plastic recycling rate is very low. Globally, our plastic recycling rate is very low. This is not the Indonesia problem. This is globally a big problem, okay? And the number one reason our plastic recycling rate is so low is organic waste contamination. That prompted me this year, and you can Google this, waste ends here. I produced a report this year, which is 60 pages. There's over 70 citations, which really talks to the systemic problems that I know the Ministry of Environment are going after now. We must separate at source. We must keep organics out of waste flow. We must watch a video. And if we do that, then we can increase our recycling rates. We can keep more plastic out of the environment. We can have cleaner sungais, cleaner pantai, cleaner banja, comunitas, desas. But we cannot recycle our way out of a contamination problem. And the Ministry for Environment knows this. That's why we're creating all of these regulations and all of this activity to help Indonesia stay beautiful, to help Indonesia. I think they're messing with me. They're picking on the bule. To help Indonesia stay safe.
Do you want to play the video? Okay. Already stop. Okay.
Okay, we're going to get to our video. Thank you for listening with me and staying here.
We can all agree that landfills don't work. We're feeding a dirty system. We have to do something new. We have to rethink. Okay? We need contemporary solutions for contemporary problems.
Potensi Bali untuk mengelola sampah organik menjadi bahan pembaharu tanah itu sangat luar biasa.
Aspek biologis ini sama pentingnya dengan aspek engineering.
Our microbes are from Bali. We grabbed different cultures from different parts of Bali, mainly volcanic areas, Kintamani, etc. They're asleep below 40 degrees Celsius. They're dormant. But as soon as you click over that 40-degree mark, they fire up.
Pada prinsipnya kita harus meniru sistem pencernaan dari makhluk hidup. Mesin yang kita hasilkan itu tidak membunuh mikroba itu sendiri.
Mesin digester ini kan dia memiliki suhu yang terkontrol, jauh lebih terkontrol daripada di lingkungan luar. Bakteri ini akan beradaptasi, berkembang dan kemudian akan mendegradasi sampah kompos menjadi senyawa-senyawa yang jauh lebih sederhana sehingga proses pembuatan kompos jauh lebih cepat.
The reason it doesn't take 3 or 6 months is because there's no fluctuations in heat. They are the perfect microbes at the perfect temperature with the perfect amount of oxygen. This machine processes 100 kilos of organic waste per day and will produce 10 to 20 kilos of digestate out the other end. Our machines start at 100 kilos per load per day and go up to 2,000 kilos per day. 3 to 6 months worth of composting in 24 hours.
Hari ini kita mengirim mesin SI500 ke salah satu hotel di daerah Legian Kute, yang mana mesin ini mempunyai bobot 1,2 ton.
When we drop it off, all the operators need to do is plug it in, load it with waste, wait a day, unload the compost.
Di SIPA saya ternyata bisa mewujudkan cita-cita saya sejak lama. SIPA ini luar biasa, mewujudkan ide yang sederhana, mengolah limbah dapur menjadi pupuk yang tidak banyak orang mau berpikir ke arah itu. Orang Bali itu percaya kepada alam. Tentu saja harapan saya, ini SIPA adalah salah satu cara saya untuk menghormati alam. Mengembalikan segala sesuatu yang kita ambil kembali kepada tanah Bali. Bahan sisa makanan adalah hasil panen yang kita manfaatkan menjadi makanan, kita kembalikan sisanya menjadi nutrisi lagi ke tanah. Itulah pertukaran yang di Bali disebut dengan jantra.
Thank you. I've seen that video 200 times, and it still makes me really emotional. We invented this technology in Indonesia. Okay, we work with Indonesian microbes, we work with Indonesian engineers, we work with Indonesian universities. And I think the most important part of that is in Indonesia, we no longer need to import solutions or wait for help. We're creating them right here at home. Something I'm very proud of. I know my skin color is the wrong color to be Indonesian, but my heart is very much Indonesian. And I'm very grateful. Thank you. We've talked about this, but one of the most important parts of this is something that I didn't know 3 years ago was how harmful organic sampah is. How harmful organic sampah is to the environment. So we've already learned that it lowers our recycling rate. So that's also very big. But the methane from organic waste, the greenhouse gases, are actually more than the entire airline industry. So that the organic sampah that we produce and we dispose of produces more greenhouse gases than the entire airline industry across the world. And not just a little bit more, 2-3 times more greenhouse gases. So when somebody throws some sampah organic in the bushes, that's okay. 1 banana peel is okay, but 1 billion is not. And with such a large population in Indonesia, we need to be very careful about our organic sampah, probably more careful than some of the other sampah that we produce. Next. Something that I didn't get to earlier was the unit economics, the costs, the metrics around recycling. Now, if you're a recycler, and mind you, I started in plastics in Indonesia, right? You want to make beautiful products or make something of value from the recycled plastic. But your business, the margins are really thin. And if you've ever bought something that was made from recycled plastic, you understand that it's not a lot cheaper, okay? That's because there's a lot of work that goes into collecting this plastic, into cleaning it, shredding it, and molding it into the final products. If you ask a recycling company to then take the grease off, take the chemicals off, take the infectious waste off, the unit economics don't work. So we must keep organics away from our inorganics, and we must do that at the source. And the easiest time to do that is when we're cooking, when we're consuming it. When we chop up the ikan, it's fresh, it's beautiful, we're about to eat it. Then you put in a separate bucket. If you wait maybe 1 hari sampai 2 hari, tidak bagus. So we must be separating its source, okay? And just putting it in a separate bucket is enough. Thanks. Oh, do you want me to do it? There we go, we're making progress here, thank you. Maybe we're not. So when we talk about what we do with waste right now, we mix it, we wait for the truck, it goes to the TPA, the TPST, the TPS 3R, and it's gone, right? It disappears. It's not everybody's problem, it's not my problem anymore, it's gone. It's a major problem. And for some of the reasons that I've gone through, methane emissions and greenhouse gases, obviously the harmful effects that it does in reducing our recycling rate and increasing plastic in the environment. What about the business effects? One social media post going viral, one article on either Bule Press or Local Press. Pollution is is everywhere. It's a daily problem that we face, not just in Indonesia, okay, but globally. And a lot of that is driven by the Sampah Organik. Illegal burning. Now, this is two things. Obviously, this is rumor, burn the sampah to get rid of it. I understand that, okay? You don't have other options maybe sometimes. But it's also that methane is flammable. And so when Bantar Gebang catches on fire, or Suwung in Bali, or any of the other landfills, it doesn't catch on fire because of the plastic. And it doesn't catch on fire because of the cans. It doesn't catch on fire because of the residues. It catches on fire because of the Sampah Organik. So if we can keep that away from our landfills and process it at the source, we're solving our air quality problems as well. Flooding and drainage has been a bigger part of our lives recently, especially in Bali. Obviously in September we had terrible floods. Obviously if we have more sampah in the environment, it is going to block up our waterways. But the other part that I wanted to tell you about was something called leachate. Put your hand up if you've heard of leachates before. Good, I get to tell you all of this fresh. So leachates are what comes off the organics when they get into landfills. Organics are incredibly acidic. And in fact, the machines that you saw are made from marine grade stainless steel. If they weren't, they would rust to the ground in a couple of months. And you see it with the sampah truck, right? With the bottom all rusted out and the wheels a bit rusty. That's from the organic sampah, because it's very acidic when it breaks down. Now you put that in a landfill. All of this acid mixed with all of the other things that are in the landfill. There's cans, there's metals, there's heavy metals, there's chemicals, there's condoms, there's nappies, there's needles. All of that acid pulls all of those things down and goes into the soil. And where does it go after that? Into the groundwater. Now in Indonesia, we largely rely on our groundwater and our wells. So what are we doing to those things? And we happily put our sampah mixed into a truck and let it go and do that downstream. Our groundwater flows into our sungais. Our sungais flow into the pantais, into the ocean. We are literally killing every part of our udara, tanah, dan air. So something must change. Something is changing. Thank you to Papa Agus and the team at the KLR and DLR, etc., across the countries. Something is changing. We're seeing real change. Not a press release, not talking, action, real action. Indonesia has become, in the last 12 months, incredibly serious about our sampah and about a positive change for this country. And I back it wholeheartedly. In fact, technology and inventions and innovation, local innovations like Shiva are here to help it. We're here to give people an option to manage their sampah at source, particularly the Sampah Organik. For the business owners in here that are not familiar with some of the more recent regulations and some of definitely the more recent concrete actions in places like Bali and Jakarta, etc. These inspections are very real, and I'll give you one example from Bali. One of our customers, the Padma in Legian, they ordered a machine from us, but then they got inspected. They were given 2 weeks to fix their Sampah Organik or tutup. They must close. They must cancel all of their reservations. They must close the hotel for everybody. This is the kind of concrete action that we need to inspire change. And I understand if you're a business owner that is a bit difficult. But you also have to understand as a business owner that for the last 10, 20 years, Mother Nature's been paying your sampah bill. And she cannot pay anymore. some of the things that we've seen here with our customers, I'm going to call out one of these because I know that you guys can read through these and I don't want to be a presenter that reads to the slides to you. But the one thing that we saw at the Western, now the Western has had one of our machines for almost 2 years. The staff satisfaction went up when they installed our machine because their staff knew that they were big polluters and their staff knew that they were no longer polluters. No more sampah onto the trucks. No more sampah to the TPR. The staff satisfaction went up because they care. We all care about the place that we call home. And we need positive examples like this. We need positive leadership to adopt this change and to affect this change and to keep Indonesia beautiful and to help some parts of Indonesia reclaim her beauty. I put this in as a quick one. If you're operating a business or a commercial entity or even at home right now, these are some really simple steps because I know it can be daunting. And most of you probably know this, but honestly, we've worked with a lot of customers on this and it's really, really simple. And the number one thing is waste. It's too hard to extract the ikan from the plastic bottle after 2 hari, 3 hari, 1 bulan. But that's what we expect the Pengelolaan to do. We expect other Indonesians, our countrymen, to separate your waste when it's at its worst. Now, every day I work with Sampah Organik, and I can tell you, it can be very, very bad. We all know what the trucks smell like, okay? But we expect other humans to separate our nappies from our pisang, our needles from our kalapa, our daging from our condoms. We expect other humans to do that. Why? Why do we get to decide the hardships that they have to go through? Indonesia has 3.1 million scavengers, more than 1% of the population. They are our front line and our last line of defense right now. That system is not working. It is not fair on these people that they have to live on or from the TPR, our mixed waste. We must take responsibility. We must be humans about this. We must remember that waste doesn't disappear. Now, for commercial enterprises in the new world, okay, in the new world, post-regulations, we must all separate, we must all manage our sampah. Specifically for organic sampah, you have 3 options. The first option, which is the best option, it is no tech. The best option we have is no tech. We compost, we do what our grandfathers did, our grandmothers. We do what our ancestors did. They knew that Sampah Organik was a resource. They knew it was gold. They knew how to grow healthy food and create healthy soils. We can compost. It doesn't cost anything. Just some space, just some time. Everybody here can do composting esok. Or hari ini, even better. We can do maggots, black soldier fly larvae, like maggot larva, obviously the darling of the industry. They are fantastic. Rendrian is a friend. They are excellent. So if you are an operator, a venue, you have a hospitality, you have sekolah, mall, food producer, if you produce Sampah Organik, please compost or black soldier fly if you can. On the other side, third-party collections. Kind of like the Sampah trucks, but better. They deal with their waste responsibly. Maybe it does go to a central black soldier fly facility. Maybe a composting facility. but ultimately it's going somewhere responsible. It's not going back into a landfill or a dump, legal or illegal. This is a good option, but these operators, it's more expensive than what you've been doing. And I just need to say that as we formalize our waste sector here, you will have to spend something. Now, maybe you'll have to spend time, okay, at the very least, separating, getting the bucket to your organic processing. But sometimes, and especially in the private sector, you have to spend money, okay? I just want to remind everybody that Mother Nature has been paying that bill for you, okay? It hasn't been free. Waste doesn't disappear. It goes into our sungais, pantai, into the udara, tanah, dan air. The other option, which, okay, I am a bit biased, is mechanical digestion. I think it's the best option. If you're producing a lot of waste, you don't have the space, you don't have the time to compost black soldier fly, and collections is too expensive for you. You've seen the video, and so I won't talk about this too long. But when we invented this technology, I didn't think I'd be standing here speaking to one of the ministers. I didn't think we would have this machine across all of the properties that we have right now, across all of the islands that we've sold to. These machines are handmade in Indonesia by Indonesian engineers. Our microbes are Indonesian. These machines, our tukadian, 100% Indonesian. Indonesia is innovating here. It's something that I'm very excited about. We're going through lots of challenges today. I think they know that I get nervous on stage. So our machines, just in case you didn't get it from the video, sampah organic, any sampah organic, kelapa, daging, ikan, ayam, dan bebek, the bone, bamboo, you name it, goes inside the machine. In fact, this week, I cleaned one of the river barriers with Sungai Watch. We put all of the organic sampah inside the machine. 17 jam later, pupuk. There was a tikus in there, ayam, bebek, all gone. The bones, everything gone, 17 hours. So if you produce waste every day, you fill the machine, the next day you take out the pupuk, all done. IoT connected is probably something that we're very proud of. We have custom software. Our machines track every gram that goes inside the machine. Every kaweha that is used to process, and every gram of pupuk that comes out. Our customers get a report every single month on exactly what went in, what came out, and how much Listric was used. Very simple. And I think something that's not on here is they are modular. We also have donated a machine to Banjar Kelepakan in Tumbuk Bayu, di Bali. So for 6 months as a trial. So this is not just for commercial operations. We're trying to see if this can work in a desa. You know, can we encourage separation at source in the ibu-ibu and the rumah-rumah? Can we encourage the farmers with free pupuk from the sampah? So this is for everybody. This is not just for hotels and things. We have done comparisons with sampah collections companies. Based on 1 ton per day, and I know there's banyak sampah 1 ton per day, but a lot of people are surprised that they're producing 1 ton per day. Every year, after 2 years, which is break even, every year the business saves ₹500 billion. Every year. In 7 years, you've saved 2.4 billion rupiah. Sustainability isn't just the right thing to do, it makes good business sense. And these businesses know. Currently, I'm very proud to say that this week, our machines crossed over to 2 million kilograms setahun process capacity across 4 islands of Indonesia. And we're just getting started. I'm very grateful to be able to call Indonesia home, and I'm supremely honored to be able to stand up in front of you and talk about what keeps me busy on a daily basis, which is mainly digging around in bins in sampah. I never thought I'd be happier than I am now. And I probably won't be, digging around in bins and truly trying to help, trying to be a force for good. Because Indonesia is an incredible country, a very beautiful country, one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet. But that isn't guaranteed forever. We must take care of our planet. We must take care of our country. We must take care of our udara dan tanah dan air, our sungais. These are incredibly fragile. And we all here must do our part. If we don't, I think the planet will live on, but I don't think we will. Terima kasih banyak, Matua Suksma, and thank you very much for having me today, and thank you very much for listening.
Terima kasih kepada Pak Tobias. Kita berikan tepuk tangan sekali lagi atas paparannya, semoga bisa dipahami ya, sekalipun campur-campur bahasa Inggris dan Indonesia. Nah, saya mengundang kembali Bapak Agus bisa naik ke depan. Karena ini adalah satu momen yang boleh dibilang perdana ya. Kami bisa berkomunikasi, beraudiensi dengan pihak Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup secara resmi begitu ya. Jadi saya mau minta tanggapannya dari Pak Agus terhadap apa yang sudah dipaparkan oleh Pak Tobias selaku founder dari Siva Industries. Dan setelah tanggapan dari Pak Agus, saya juga memberi kesempatan kepada audiens di tempat ini. Bagi yang mau bertanya, saya berikan kesempatan untuk 3 penanya atau komentar ya. Bagi 3 penanya yang memberikan pertanyaan atau komentar akan mendapatkan souvenir yang sederhana dari Siva. Ditunggu dulu ya, kita akan mendengarkan tanggapan dari Pak Agus. Silakan Pak Agus.
Terima kasih. Can I stand up or just sit? Okay, better sit down, Tobias. Terima kasih Pak Tobias atas pencerahannya kepada kita semua, pada audiens kita yang pada hari ini adalah hari pertama pameran Invirotech ya, tahun 2026. Kemudian kami juga sangat mengapresiasi upaya yang dilakukan oleh Siva. Saya ingin bercerita tentang Siva sedikit ini Pak Tobias. Jadi Siva itu atau Siwa itu adalah salah satu dewa Hindu. Ya, mungkin Pak Tobias lebih tahu dari saya nih. Dewa Hindu itu ada 3 yang utama, ada Brahma, kemudian ada Siwa, ada Wisnu pemelihara. Jadi Siwa ini sebenarnya pelebur atau penghancur Pak Tobias. Jadi menghancurkan apa-apa yang jelek, yang usang, kemudian untuk diciptakan lagi oleh Brahma. Seperti itu filosofinya seperti itu. Jadi kalau lihat nama Siva ini adalah nama dewa yang menghancurkan hal-hal yang usang, yang udah jelek untuk dibuat kembali, seperti itu. Seperti apa yang disampaikan oleh Pak Tobias tadi. Nah yang kedua, yang paling penting adalah kita sebenarnya sangat apresiasi apa yang dilakukan oleh Pak Tobias ini karena kita sangat bermasalah terkait dengan sampah. Ya. Masalahnya adalah 270 sekian juta rakyat Indonesia saat ini masih kurang peduli terhadap pemilahan sampah dan sebagainya. Sehingga ini adalah salah satu solusi yang ditawarkan oleh Siva untuk bisa kita selesaikan permasalahan sampah organik khususnya. Karena memang sampah organik itu sekitar 49% dari sampah yang kita hasilkan setiap harinya adalah sampah organik. Ya. Kalau misalnya Jakarta setiap harinya menghasilkan lebih dari 9.000 ton sampah, jadi organiknya mungkin sekitar antara 3 sampai 4.000 ton setiap harinya. Bapak Ibu bisa bayangkan 3.000 sampai 4.000 ton setiap hari, berarti kalau misalnya satu truk isinya 4 ton, itu bisa 1.000 truk setiap hari ngantri. Kalau satu truk itu panjangnya 5 meter, ya, itu kita bayangkan sekitar 5 kilo panjang truk yang ngantri. Kalau sekitar 4.000 ton, itu setiap hari, bukan setiap minggu ya, setiap hari. Itu bayangan kita semua, Bapak Ibu silakan membayangkan bagaimana kita selesaikan masalah itu. Yang ketiga, kita bisa bayangkan juga tadi Pak Tobias ada slide yang sangat baik ya. Di sebelah kanannya digambarkan bahwa jika dengan cara konvensional pakai maggot atau black soldier fly itu bisa juga ya. Mungkin waktunya lama, kemudian butuh lahan yang cukup gitu ya. Padahal di banyak kota itu lahan adalah yang paling utama ya. Kemudian yang di sebelah kanan ya. Yang sebelah kiri tadi ada slide juga yang menyatakan bahwa kalau misalnya pakai pihak ketiga yang selesaikan itu pasti ada biaya. Biaya itu tergantung volume, semakin besar volumenya semakin besar biaya, perlu alat transport dan sebagainya. Nah, beliau menawarkan yang di tengah. Jadi yang di tengah ini sekali beli alatnya, kemudian setiap hari bisa di-maintain. Artinya dalam 24 jam sampah kita udah bisa selesai. Sehingga yang ditawarkan bukan tingkat rumah tangga Pak Tobias ya, bukan household seperti itu, tetapi industri, kemudian mungkin ada mall, ya, mungkin ada komplek-komplek perkantoran dan sebagainya, sehingga bisa menyelesaikan sampah dalam waktu 1 hari. Nanti silahkan diperhitungkan berapa banyak misalnya Bapak Ibu ada yang dari perusahaan yang punya kapasitas produksi sampah yang dihasilkan misalnya sampai 100 kilo, ada juga varian yang 100 kilo bisa diproduksi setiap hari. Ada mungkin kalau yang besar itu sampai 2 ton sampah organik yang bisa diselesaikan. Tapi intinya apapun itu, apapun teori yang kita lakukan dalam pengelolaan sampah, satu hal yang pasti harus dilakukan adalah pemilahan, sorting. Ya. You have to sort the waste first, then you can do with Siva Industries, right? Ya. Jadi kita apapun teori, mau waste to energy, mau pakai mesinnya Pak Tobias misalnya, atau pakai metode composting konvensional dan sebagainya, itu yang utama dan terutama kita harus melakukan pemilahan sampah. Pemilahan sampah dari rumah, pemilahan sampah dari rumah tangga, pemilahan sampah mau di kantor juga bisa silakan. Jadi harus dipilah. Kalaupun ada plastik di mesinnya Pak Tobias ini, pasti tidak optimal jalannya. Karena yang ditargetkan untuk diolah adalah sampah organik. Jadi melalui event ini kami menghimbau kepada Bapak Ibu teman-teman semua untuk melakukan pertama pemilahan sampah. Ya, jangan sampai organik dan anorganik itu bercampur karena waste to energy itu pasti nilai kalornya juga turun kalau misalnya masih ada campuran organik. Pengelolaan sampah anorganik, plastik dan sebagainya, jika masih ada sampah organiknya, pasti mutu pilahannya, mutu recyclingnya juga tidak bagus, sehingga harus dipilah. Yang ketiga, tadi ada yang menarik juga bisa dimanfaatkan untuk pertanian organik dan sebagainya. Jika sisa makanan kita masih ada kontaminan dan sebagainya, makanya mutu dari kompos kita pasti tidak bagus karena masih tercampur yang anorganik. Itu pesan yang kami ingin sampaikan dan mudah-mudahan Bapak Ibu teman-teman semua bisa memahami dan mulai dari sekarang kami berpesan bahwa lebih dari 340 TPA atau landfill area di Indonesia ditutup open dumpingnya. Ya, open dumping tidak boleh, bukan TPA-nya ditutup tapi open dumpingnya, bukan landfill ditutup tapi open dumping activity-nya yang ditutup. Jadi tidak boleh lagi sampah itu dibuang begitu saja, tetapi harus dipilah. Hanya sampah residu saja yang boleh masuk TPA, sehingga organik, kemudian yang anorganik harus dikelola. Nah, yang Pak Tobias tawarkan adalah sampah organik untuk dikelola. Yang tadinya butuh waktu mungkin sekitar 3 sampai 6 minggu, Pak Tobias dengan mesin SIFA ini hanya 24 jam selesai. Gitu Bapak Ibu pesan kami, dan kami sangat apresiasi upaya-upaya yang dilakukan oleh banyak pihak termasuk Pak Tobias untuk mengurangi sampah di Indonesia, membantu kita, dan mudah-mudahan ini menjadi salah satu opsi untuk kita bisa selesaikan urusan sampah kita, khususnya sampah organik di Indonesia. Sehingga lebih dari hampir 70.000 ton sampah setiap harinya kita bisa selesaikan. Begitu Bapak dan Ibu, terima kasih Pak Tobias, terima kasih Mas Cigo ya, Cogi, ya makasih Mas Cogi. Dan silakan Bapak Ibu kalau ada bertanya ke Pak Tobias, kami persilakan, mungkin tanya harga, segala macam silakan ke Pak Tobias. Silakan Mas Cogi.
Silakan untuk 3 pertanyaan. Tadi Mbak yang pertama tadi udah maju ya, silakan Mbak maju ke depan. Iya, sebutkan nama dan dari mana ya. Silakan. Sini. Ya. Singkat ya.
Ya. Halo, selamat sore. Perkenalkan nama saya Dian, saya dari Jakarta Selatan. Saya adalah penyandang disabilitas low vision. Saya ingin menanggapi tentang masalah sampah ini, memang benar-benar greget banget ya. Saya sudah mencoba mengupayakan untuk memilah sampah, karena saya tinggalnya di rumah susun Pak, jadi ketika saya sudah memulai memilah sampah itu kan excited ya, jadi mau nggak mau saya menyediakan 3 tempat sampah di dalam rumah. Tapi ternyata pada kenyataannya pada saat saya ingin membuang ke tempat pembuangan akhir di Rusunawa itu, ternyata masih banyak warga yang membandel Pak. Itu masih banyak warga yang menyatukan semua jenis sampah dalam satu kantong kresek. Sedangkan Perda Jakarta sudah mengharuskan kita untuk memilah sampah karena bulan Agustus besok TPA Bantar Gebang sudah tidak ada lagi menerima sampah yang tidak dapat diolah. Nah itu bagaimana Pak, apakah SIFA bisa berkolaborasi dengan Dinas Kebersihan di DKI Jakarta untuk mensosialisasikan ini, khususnya untuk Rusunawa yang berada di Jakarta, yang benar-benar rusunnya ini milik Pemprov DKI Jakarta. Sekian, terima kasih.
Tepuk tangan buat Mbaknya, nanti saya kasih ya Mbak souvenirnya ya, terima kasih. Mungkin pertanyaan ini lebih tepat untuk Bapak ya Pak ya. So she asked about the sorting in the apartment. She lives in apartment, but she already do the sorting, but any other people don't do that. How can SIFA and the government collaborate to raise awareness about this?
Look, awareness is a big thing, obviously, and education, right? And so I think we need to start at the school level, at primary school. I think it needs to be part of curriculum. We need to learn about sampah. We need to learn about soil and organics and how to keep them from being mixed with inorganics. So education is going to be the government's biggest job, I think, definitely. If we look at apartments, another thing that could help, I think, is new apartment buildings must have 3 chutes: organic sampah chute, the recyclable chute, and the residues. So when we build these new complexes, we make sorting easy for the residents. Okay, it needs to be convenient for it to take off to where it needs to be. There is an apartment building that just launched in Australia that has 3 chutes, and in the basement they have a organic processing machine similar to ours. So I think the future is for apartments and complexes is for it to make it easy for residents. But also the other side of that is all of the landscaping you can feed with the pupuk from the machine. So residents get to walk in the grounds with no more chemicals. So everybody's living a more healthier life, a more separated life. We've got only TPR for residues and stuff. But yeah, so education is really important, and I think we should start as young as we can and continue through school. And I know that the government's doing a lot of work on that now, which is great. But I think the other thing is convenient. How do we make it easy for people, you know? The easier it is for people, the more likely they are to do it, because humans are lazy. Okay? In all parts of our life, don't worry, not just with sampah.
Mungkin ada tambahan dari Pak Agus?
Makasih pertanyaannya Mbak, siapa tadi? Mbak Dina ya, siapa? Mbak Dian ya, makasih pertanyaannya. Jadi seperti tadi kami sampaikan, Jakarta saja itu lebih dari 4.000 ton sampah setiap hari. Sehingga perlu banyak metode. Saya tidak bilang ini satu-satunya, tetapi dengan composting bisa, yang konvensional, kemudian dengan mesin juga bisa, kemudian dengan black soldier fly juga bisa, dibuat maggot seperti itu, ada biokonversi dan sebagainya, bisa dimanfaatkan untuk pupuk, untuk pakan ternak dan sebagainya bisa. Bisa juga untuk langsung diberikan pakan hewan misalnya, ya bisa ke ternak ayam atau ternak lele dan sebagainya, itu bisa. Sehingga semua mode pendekatan selesaikan sampah itu kita bisa gunakan. Ini salah satu opsi untuk bisa selesaikan sampah organik khususnya, seperti itu. Dan ke depan kami juga mengidentifikasi Pak Tobias gagasan seperti ini, untuk kita bisa kolaborasikan dengan pemerintah kabupaten kota, khususnya yang memiliki kawasan, sehingga sampah itu bisa selesai di tempat, khususnya sampah organik seperti itu. Nanti kita bisa buat semacam sosialisasi kepada kabupaten kota untuk kita bisa tawarkan opsi ini agar selesaikan sampah organik di tempat, gitu Pak.
Sudah menjawab Pak? Sudah ya, oke. Pertanyaan kedua, Masnya dulu tadi ya, saya udah lihat. Nanti Masnya yang ketiga ya. Oke, baik. Silakan. Silakan Pak, naik ke Pak.
Thank you. My name is Rahmat. My question will be to Pak Wilson, I think. I am in the neighborhood association, or we call it RW and RT. We have this kind of initiative, so thank you for your initiative, Pak. And it has already enabling this initiative also. We are currently in discussing of solving our neighborhood problem regarding the waste. For the past 1.5 years, we have already starting this initiative ourselves. But to be honest, it's really hard. So we starting to maybe to change the campaign. Initially we are campaigning through awareness, right? Environmental awareness. But to be honest, it seems doesn't work. Doesn't really work. So I think we discussed between the neighborhood association management, and then we said, I think we have to change the tactics, the campaigns. Maybe we have to start by saying that there is benefit, there is, well, how to say that, cuan. There is a profitability in this initiative. Instead of speaking through environmental awareness, we want to approach through there is profitability in this action. So my question is, since you say that you are a consultant, you are a hands-on operator, so what is your suggestion you could give us in order to speeding up this campaign and bring it into realization? we currently discussing about black soldier fly, the one that you mentioned, and but seeing your presentation, I'm starting to change my mind. I think the uh, the the middle advice I think is maybe the most workable. But again, since we are about to start the campaign through profitability aspect instead of environmental awareness, which is really slow to work, and I think I need your advice how to approach this from the context of profitability to change discussion with the. We have like I don't know 350 houses within our neighborhood. So I don't know how much that one that we haven't really calculated how much that going to produce the waste, but that's numbers around the houses that we have in our neighborhood. So maybe your hands-on experience could enlighten me in this context. Thank you, Pak.
Terima
Thank you
kasih
Pak
Bapak.
Rahmat. Ya, silakan Pak Tobias to answer the question.
Terima kasih Bapak. And thank you for going through the process for 1 tahun kira-kira. It's important. Awareness only will not work, okay? And if I look at South Korea, so South Korea over a reasonably short amount of time went from 98%, so 98%, to TPA sampai 2%. Completely opposite. They did it a little bit like we do our bank sampah. Kami ada bank sampah, yeah? Kami ada profitability, from your sampah. We have this process. We have this education in the desa, in the village, in the rumah-rumah. So we know that the plastic sampah is worth something. Okay? And we keep it clean and we separate it and we bring it to the bank sampah and we take the money. So we already have that. We just need to work on that for organics. And that is what South Korea did. They started with profitability, with a carrot. Okay? But then as the program matured, they bring the stick. Yeah? Once the households, once the community, once the businesses have had time to recalibrate their sampah handling, they've been profitable, they've been motivated to do that. They've had enough time. Then we start to move from carrot to stick. We must bring in fines. We must bring in regulation at that point. Now, we can't do that besok, but en masse. But what we can do is, I think what you're saying is profitability. I think it's the right thing to do. And also the benefits of no more sampah trucks, no more smelly waste, and banyak pupuk, yeah, untuk imunitas is, I think, the way to do it. Nobody wants the smell of sampah. Nobody wants to actively hurt their environment. Nobody wants to put chemicals into the air, okay? We don't want to burn. We don't want trucks. We don't want any of that. But we want to know how to move from where we are now at 98% to landfill, like South Korea, down to 2%. So carrot, stick, and moving beyond awareness.
Sudah terjawab ya Pak Rahmat ya. Nanti kita bisa ngobrol lebih lanjut Pak. Terakhir, karena kita cuma punya waktu 5 menit terakhir, silakan Mas. Sebutkan nama, dari mana, dan pertanyaannya straight to the point ya Mas.
Baik, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Putra, saya dari Jakarta. Jadi kan kita tahu sendiri masyarakat itu terkait dengan sampah organik itu hampir nggak bisa ngebedain ya, apalagi di lingkungan yang padat penduduk gitu. Jadi pertanyaannya nih, kira-kira apakah terus mendorong pendekatan berbasis kesadaran moral masyarakat itu tindakan yang benar-benar gimana ya, naib gitu bagi pihak Pemprov gitu untuk melaksanakannya gitu, ataukah kita harus punya pakai teknologi yang kayak MBT gitu atau mechanical biological treatment yang di tempat-tempat hilir gitu, atau kita bisa ngelakuin denda gitu. Pandangan Bapak gitu, pandangan denda ke masyarakat yang melanggar gitu. Kayak yang di Singapura kan, kalau Singapura kan buang puntung rokok kan denda berapa puluh juta gitu. Itu aja, terima kasih.
Terima kasih Mas. Berarti langsung ke Pak Agus ya.
Makasih pertanyaannya. Jawabannya semua harus dilakukan. Jadi pada saat penyadaran masyarakat, kita harus menyampaikan sosialisasi, peraturan perundangan dan sebagainya. Saya tahu semua kabupaten kota di Indonesia sudah punya peraturan tentang tidak boleh buang sampah sembarangan. Ada semua aturan itu. Tapi tidak satu pun daerah yang menerapkan peraturan itu. Saya tidak pernah dengar ada warga yang ditangkap karena buang sampah. Tidak pernah saya dengar ada orang yang didenda karena buang sampah. Coba Bapak Ibu sesekali yang sering keluar negeri ya, ke Singapura, ini Pak Tobias tadi udah 17 tahun di Singapura misalnya, ngerokok aja di Orchard Road coba. Pasti didatengin polisi, dikasih kwitansi, suruh bayar. You will get the fine directly, right? Ya, seperti itu Pak. Tapi kita tidak satu pun ada perda kita di kabupaten kota itu yang ditegakkan, padahal aturannya ada. Ya. Kemudian kedua, terkait tadi dengan teknologi dan sebagainya, ini adalah opsi. Kalau misalnya memang tadi yang pertanyaan sebelumnya, itu misalnya bisa memperhitungkan, oh misalnya ini hitungannya ekonominya ada masuk, ada nilai manfaat, dapat pupuk dalam waktu 24 jam, bisa buat pertanian perkotaan, pertanian organik dan sebagainya, ada hitungannya, ada cuannya tadi sebut-sebut cuan, ya kenapa tidak gitu loh kalau menurut saya. Sehingga semua opsi itu kita upayakan karena Indonesia sudah masuk ke dalam darurat sampah. Sehingga kita harus selesaikan sampah sesegera mungkin. Ini ada opsi ngasih waktu 24 jam selesai sampah organiknya. Tinggal kita pikirkan yang anorganik seperti apa. Jadi Pak Tobias dari Siva Industri ini menawarkan opsi untuk selesaikan sampah organik dalam waktu 24 jam. Seperti itu. Silakan diperhitungkan. Dan saya sangat berharap Bapak Ibu silakan diinformasikan ke teman-teman Pemda DKI dan sebagainya atau Bapak Ibu dari kabupaten kota lainnya, silakan mungkin bisa dapat QR dari perusahaan ini, tawarkan ke pemerintah kabupaten kotanya, siapa tahu ada opsi ini menjadi pilihan untuk teman-teman di kabupaten kota untuk bisa selesaikan sampah organiknya dalam waktu 24 jam. Begitu Pak Cigo.
Baik, terima kasih, tepuk tangan buat Pak Agus dan Pak Tobias. Dengan berakhirnya tanya jawab, sesi tanya jawab pada sore hari ini, demikian berakhir juga acara talk show atau seminar tentang pengelolaan sampah organik bersama Siva Industries. Semoga kita bisa bekerja sama. Bagi rekan-rekan yang ingin mengenal lebih lanjut atau mendapatkan brosurnya, bisa di-scan QR code-nya, nanti bisa terkoneksi langsung dengan kami. Terima kasih banyak, selamat sore.